Good morning. Today is day 7 of the Diligently Seeking and Serving God Challenge. I am excited to be here with you guys today for day 7. I just want you all to give yourself a round of applause for making it to day 7. Pat yourself on the back, give yourself a hug, whatever it is you need to do. I hope that you guys are starting to see some of what you're going to receive in completing this challenge. You're going to have spiritual maturity. Um, you're going to be more faithful. And it won't be just to God, but it'll be to yourself. Because if you do it for you, you definitely can do it for God. Um, when you do it for you, you're doing it for God. Because it also makes you think about others in the process. And how many of you know that when you are a blessing to others, you are blessing God because He is using you to do that very thing, right? So today is day 7, and I have enjoyed each day of this challenge. I have learned some things like taking the time out to memorize scriptures in my early days of going to church and learning how to grow closer to God, I did a lot of memorizing scriptures. And then I fell off at some point. It was about surviving life and calling on God so much to be alongside of me, during these things that I was going through. So this is called a challenge because when you're in a challenge, it can be a little tough. It can be an inconvenience. It's not something you would normally do every day. But, it is important in this challenge that these are things that you are taking on, right? And that you are applying to your life going forward. You're not doing it just to never do it again. And so this week, we are really focusing on becoming more intimate with God. Um, in seeking his face, seeking that relationship with him. You're saying, God, I'm here, I'm open, I'm ready to seek you, right? What do I need to do? And that's what this challenge is for. This challenge is to help you get there. I am thankful for each and every person that has taken the time out of your schedule, not only to complete this challenge every day, but to watch my videos and listen to what it is that I'm saying to help you in the process. These videos are not about Kim. These videos are about you. This is to help you in this process. If you have not been doing any of the things that I've talked about, and that's fine. Um, and you want to join for the second week, you're more than welcome. Let me know, and I will send you my calendar that has everything that you will do each day. So, for those of you that are just joining today, and this is your first video you've seen, you can go back and watch the pinned video that I have out there telling you about the challenge. Um, I'm also on YouTube under Kim Patterson. I am on Facebook as Kim Empower, so you'll find them on there as well. I also have a group on Facebook, and it's called The Glow from Letting Go. There's a big story behind that. Um, but yes, you can also ask to join that group because you'll probably start to see more content from me in there, more so TikTok. I'm trying to post more on TikTok. You guys, please bear with me, okay? So let's move on. So those of you that got on here today for the um, action for day 7, it is write a letter to God. Tell him your hopes, your fears, and your dreams. So let's talk about that a little bit. So, writing a letter talking about your hopes, your dreams, and your fears, that means you have to be totally honest about what they are. And when we're asking you to write that letter, we're not asking you to write about what somebody's told you that you need to do, what you should be, what, None of that. It is what you want, what you feel. It's about your feelings. This challenge is about you. It's about unpacking all of these things so you can get to the point of being able to hear God. We have to unpack things, get all that stuff out. Let's say you're going on a trip, but you have been on a trip in the past and you never unpacked your suitcase. You have to unpack all of that just to be able to have it clear so that you can put your new stuff in there so you can go on your trip. So it's important that you take the time to do that and write this letter because it is helping you know who you are. Because I don't care what age you're at, you may be at a point in life where you don't know who you are. We change throughout the years. I'm going to say at the age of 27, I changed. My whole thought process was different. I was like, hold on, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. You know, my oldest daughter, she went through the same thing. I was like, okay, this is what's going on with you. Because I remembered exactly how I felt at that age. Um, so yes, it's important that we know exactly who we are. And I don't care what age you're at because we continue to change. If you have dreams, and I don't care if you are the big age that I am, I'm 52, and you say, I always wanted to go to school, but I feel like I'm too old to go to school. No, you're never too old. You can do anything that you want to do. If you want to do it, you can do it. I don't care if you say I want to get married, but I'm too old to be getting married and settling down with somebody and learning about them. We don't have that much time. You don't know how much time you have. You don't. And that's not for you to know, but you got to live your life. Live for today. Write those dreams, write those hopes down, write down those fears, and let God help you with those fears. Because fears are false evidence appearing real. They don't even exist, but our mind tells us that they do. And so you want to unpack that. You have to figure out why you have this fear about this. Because there is something planted there that's making you feel like that. So it's not to say just because fear means that it's false evidence appearing real that this is not a valid feeling for you. No, that's not true. Because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what fears mean, but there is something within you that is making you feel fearful about that. So your feelings are valid. Let's start there. But I think it's so important that you know and love who you are. For an example, I'm going to use me today. My freckles. Okay? My freckles, and I have, not only do I have freckles, but God decided I was going to have beauty marks as well, also known as moles. And I remember as a little girl, I just had this mole right here on my. Did I have it on my nose? Well, I know. I think I had one on this side of my face, and I don't remember which side it was, guys, because I have so many on here now. But as a young girl, I had that one on one of these sides of my face, and I think I had this one right here. I have to go back and look at pictures, but it didn't bother me. But people wanted to put them on their face. But when I turned 35, that's when all of the others came. I already had the freckles and the few, moles, but then, like I said, they appeared. And I don't like to do filters because I love my beauty marks because I have embraced them. This is who I am. I love who she is. But there was a point in my life where I was very shy about them. I was like, okay, this is uncomfortable for me. So I'm not in that space anymore. I love exactly who I am. And I want you to get to that point. So this is important. Make sure that you do this task and talk to you